There is a dish that was born by accident inside a small truck stop in a province that was already fighting to prove itself to the world. It had 3 ingredients, all of them humble, all of them cheap. And somehow it became the most debated, most defended, most deeply loved dish an entire country has ever produced. So what turns 3 modest things into a national obsession? Quebec has always done things its own way. It kept its language when the rest of the continent didn't. It kept its culture when history pushed hard against it. And the word poutine itself? In old Quebec slang, it meant, loosely, a messy mix, a chaotic jumble, which is exactly what the rest of Canada thought of Quebec for most of the 20th century. So how does a province that the world called a mess turn that same word into its greatest source of pride? The year is 1957. The place is Warwick, a small farming town in Quebec, population just a few thousand. A man named Fernand Lachance runs a modest roadside canteen. And one afternoon, a regular customer does something unusual. He asks Fernand to throw fresh cheese curds directly onto his plate of fries. Fernand is not impressed. In fact, legend says he looked at the request and told the customer, "That's going to make one hell of a mess." He made it anyway. The customer loved it. Word spread fast in a small town. And for a few years, poutine was exactly that. Fries, curds, eaten quickly before the curds went cold. A mess you had to commit to. The problem was the cold. Cheese curds lose their magic fast. That distinct, rubbery squeak, the one that tells you the curd is fresh, disappears the moment the temperature drops. And so, sometime in the early 1960s, gravy entered the picture. Hot gravy poured over fries kept the curds warm. It softened them just enough. It pulled the whole dish together into something that felt less like a snack and more like a meal. No one knows exactly who added it first. Several towns in Quebec have claimed the honor. Drummondville, Victoriaville, Warwick again. The debate has never been settled, and in Quebec, that kind of argument tends to go on forever. What is certain is this. By the late 1960s, poutine had left the truck stops and was appearing in diners across the province. By the 1980s, it had reached Montreal, the cultural capital, and that changed everything. Montreal chefs, never known for doing things plainly, began experimenting. Smoked meat on top, duck confit, lobster. The dish that started as an embarrassment, something fancy restaurants refused to serve, was now being reimagined by the very people who once looked down on it. And the rest of Canada, which had spent decades quietly mocking poutine as a Quebec oddity, slowly, almost reluctantly, fell in love with it too. Today, poutine is served in every Canadian province and in restaurants that charge $40 for a bowl of what Fernand Lachance once called a messy mix. The underdog dish of an underdog province turned into a national symbol. Not bad for 3 cheap ingredients and a customer who just wanted something warm. Follow the history, not just the recipe. More dishes are waiting.